Hey all beautiful people, how are you doing? In the morning, I'm starting like 10 minutes before. So if you're waking up, grab your coffee. If it's too cold, stay in bed, just watch and relax. If you're up and about, you can sit a little bit also to relax. So, what are we doing? Oh, it's very early and my voice is horrible, I'm sorry. Okay, so it's about to be 7 a.m. here where I am. And in a few minutes, I'm going to go and check how the stream is going on my YouTube channel. But the plan for today is to finish this portrait. I'm just missing this bit of hair on her and of course the jewelry. But maybe that's something I will do off camera, not necessarily here. I will also work with the cat that I started this week on this book. And we have another cat that I also want to start today. So let's see how much time we've got to start these things that we have planned. Kind of preparing something for 1 hour, more or less. Got a lot of house chores, evaluation, life just goes about and well. Do have a lot of videos to evaluate. So what I'm doing here is using some felt tip pens with ink. Not sure if this is water-based ink, but it might be. Okay. Hi Don, welcome. Come in. But what I'm doing is just a bit of a strokes, kind of suggest hair strands. There you go. Just a little bit. I'm working in small sections with these, so I don't smear anything around. Anyway, I got here some paper that I could use to cover these. And I'm using a combination of Prismacolor Junior and my working set of Premiere, because I have the collector set when it was very Prismacolor from the late 90s, I think it was, or mid 90s, I think it was 1995 when I got that set as a gift, as a Christmas gift. I've used it, but not necessarily that I feel that it has changed that much, or maybe I was lucky. But this set that I got in December, less than a month ago, it's not really that bad. It has got some the ink and the printing, but at least the cores are not broken so far. But I also tried to keep them sharpened to this type of tip and not longer than this, because this is when they break when you sharpen them like this. So they have to be a little bit blunt. So if you have a hard hand and you tend to press too much down on your paper, you're definitely going to break these cores, and you're going to have a collection of tips that maybe could be useful in the future, but it's better not to break them, I'll say. Okay, so I'm just adding this color like you have seen in previous videos with the hair. Just go literally almost hair by hair. And then I'm add this dark violet. This is the set of 48, by the way. I'm not buying a set of more than 48 or 36 colors anymore. Just mix, blend, and you'll get a lot of different colors. I'm going to pull this up so you can get to see how it looks. You don't have really to press too hard on your Prismacolors. They are just very creamy, soft. Just press them lightly. These are not realistic images, so there's no need to be extremely real. That's what I'll say. Don't go crazy on realism. Enjoy what the drawing provides, that is imaginary beings. You know this book. I removed the cover because it's easier for me to work like that on camera. But certainly they are not realistic people, so we can play with skin colors, we can do a lot of things on this book. And this week I've seen some of my streaming buddies, Jane or View, mentioning color books that they have and they have not used or opened, and I decided to go and see how many coloring books I really have, and I counted 40 coloring books, and I'm going to stay there. Going to try and promise myself not to get another coloring book until I have finished at least one, which is hard because all of them are started and I have like 4 or 5 that are not even open. So it's going to be hard to do that, taking into consideration the type of job that I have that requires sometimes to be working on the weekends. Okay. If you're watching this on replay, don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Tell your friends that we are just coloring something for fun, not giving necessarily classes on this, because everyone has got a method and you have already your own kind of ideas behind your method. Hi, View. Good morning. Happy to see you here. How are you doing? I was mostly in the background yesterday, but I was listening to you. I was not very active in the chat, but I have to tell you that I enjoy so much everything that you tell us. So thank you for that, because it makes my mornings and my evenings quite fun. And learning all these different points of view and how things work properly in sharing different streams, right? To share a little bit of our peace of mind and more or less how things work. It's not so cold as I expected, but I checked the weather, the weatherman, and I think the problems will be starting tomorrow. We are right now in, let me check, in 50. Let me open this. Let me go into weather. I hope it doesn't. Okay, this is where we are. Okay, I'm here. This 50. And the maximum is going to be 76 Fahrenheit. What I like about this is that I can change from Fahrenheit to centigrades. Okay, so it's going to be quite hot at around noon, which is good because I need to do my laundry. I don't have a dryer, and I use the sun as my dryer. As the new generation say, environmentally friendly. But I have used the sun all the time, so no big deal. Okay. Oh my. There you go. It's 20 is really, really cold. The moment I see something that is less 32 Fahrenheit, I'll be like, oh, it's freezing for me already. Okay. You might see that I probably go black or freeze. It could be my internet connection. The area where I am, my internet is not particularly good. The internet providers rely on antennas, and they are not very good. But if that happens, just be patient. I'll be back as soon as I can. Okay. Now let's use the pencil extender. This is not necessarily my smallest black color, but it's one of the smalls. Okay. This portrait is, let me pull the cover. It's from this book by Christine Caron. It's actually the first portrait. So after the welcome. So I decided to go in order. Don't have like a particular preference for portraits here. And maybe the next one I'll do in a few weeks will be this angel. It's kind of male figure. It's an angel, so we're going to go crazy. Yes, it's Christine Caron. Yeah, let me put there. The back is really, really nice. There we go. And the images are very elfy, very esoterical. I don't know how to. I'm kind of lacking of adjectives. I saw one of the streamer buddies that I normally follow. So Shannon from Canada. And she was coloring this book during the streamathon. And I saw it and I was like, oh, I want that book. And I don't have any books by this author. This is the first and maybe the last. But I said, well, let's go and check on Amazon. And when I open my app, sometimes the books are imported, so they are a little bit more expensive if they are sent to Mexico, and some stores don't send them. And I saw that there were only 2 copies left. So I was like, okay, this is a sign. I have to get it. And it was here in Amazon Mexico. So it was a little bit cheaper. It was on discount as well. So everything aligned for me to get this book. On January 8th, I think I got it. Yeah, a week after the streamathon. So I'll try not to be, I'll try to resist enabling, that's for sure. Okay, I forgot these pieces. So let's find the markers. I think it's this one. Okay. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I agree. We don't have a lot of men in coloring books. So we have a lot of female characters all around. And we do need handsome and I have to go back and study anatomy again in practice. There are two professions that need anatomy to the 100%. One, and the most important one, is medicine. Doctors do need to learn anatomy. And the other one is artists. It doesn't matter if you do comic and your images are not that realistic. I think it's necessary to learn anatomy, and it doesn't matter if it's for video games also. Okay, let me see what else I can do here. I want to try something, but I don't have my prisms out, so I have to get my set and see if I have. Oh no, I have a white here. Yes, I have a box of white Prismacolors. So I think I have a white somewhere here. I have a Scholar, not a Premier, but I think it's going to do the job. There. What I'm going to try and do is around the dragons, I'm going to try and add a little bit of white. First with this Scholar that is not very creamy. Kind of like the dragons are kind of glowing. This is black acrylic, by the way. And I used everything that I had, like paint from a bottle that I found that it was still good, and then some acrylic pens for the small sections. It's not going to be that clear, but I hope the camera can pick this up. And once I've done that, like going around, then like having small little hair, definitely I need to have the Premier one because the Scholar is too hard. I mean, it's good. The Scholar is like the junior, kind of, but definitely the Premier, or I have here a blue, I have a powder blue, but no, I want white. I have kind of imagined this before. Whenever I see a page and I see the page like this, colors, see the effects. I kind of choose the materials before it's, and sometimes it doesn't. And if it doesn't, well, I have learned that that material is not good for what I intended. So I'm going around wings. I'm not doing this like in a lot of detail because these dragons are not real. I do have a coloring book of dragons that I have not dared to use, and I have to use it. I have to use it. It's teaching coloring book that I have here at my desk. I'll pull it out to show you. And yeah, I think I have to be brave and use it. Okay, let me just stand up a little bit to open my box of Premiers and take the white. Okay, so let's see. So this is the Premier, brand new. Oh, yes, this is exactly what we were talking about. This is like butter on paper. And I love butter. Here in Mexico, we have type of bread that is very similar to a French baguette, but it's called bolillo. And it's small. It's kind of small. There you go. And when you go to the bakery and they are just pulling out the trays of fresh baked bread and they are pulling out the bolillo tray, I just cannot hold myself. And I need to buy at least one and then go back home, slice it, and then add a little bit of butter and just have that as a snack. It's very fattening, so I don't do that often. And bakeries start getting fresh baked bread at around 9 a.m. They wake up very early, so at 9 a.m., especially bakeries in town, because if you go to Walmart and all those places, they have bread all the time, and I cannot tell that it's very fresh. Not really. And in those stores, normally the bread comes out around midday, but certainly I prefer a local bread. Okay, so I'm going to pull this up so you get to see the difference. Okay, here is the Premier and here is the Scholar. But it's a good option, because if you don't want to have a very intense white going out, you continue going with the Scholar or the Junior. And then it will fade into and connect. Okay, so this one is Kirby's Anymore. This double page is not finished, but I like I like the book of Christine Caron to have more or less the same idea. Black. Oops, I'm cutting too much. So blue, blue things. Okay, I lost my connection by some reason. So I changed my provider. I have two internet providers. I hope that this one is not bad enough. But well. So to make a short summary out of here, I'm going to use black or dark blue acrylics for the backgrounds. That's what I can tell you about these books. Okay. So these are probably go on with this one now that I have here my colors. Yeah, whenever I try to stream, this happens all the time. So I have to be patient enough. So anyway, I'm going to continue working the dragons all around here. And I'm still not sure what I want to do with her necklace here. So that's going to be something that I have to think. I have imagined this one as kind of a blue one to make it a centerpiece apart from her hair. But as I have very, very white studio lights here, I'm trying to see if I pull this up a little bit, the contrast in the hair will look better. And let me see, no, this is natural light. But very soon I'm going to get sunlight directly on this side. So it's going to create a different effect. So I hope that this provider is not really affecting me, but certainly I will not open any other device to keep it just for my streaming. So I'm going to put this one a little bit away, and I'm going to take the cat that I started this week from this book. So the paper is very, very, very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of tooth. So I started with Inktense, and it worked really, really well. I thought the paper was going to warp all around, but not really. And the cats are fun. Definitely not realistic. I love this one. So I think this one is going to be next. And the cupcake cat is also cute. But this one in the box, and it reminds me of one cat that I had a long time ago. He lived to be 18 years old. So, and he loved to do this. He was enormous, and he barely fit any box, but it was his favorite sport, I can say, to get in all the boxes that he could find around the house. I would buy him toys and things like that, and he wouldn't like them. Just, I want the boxes. And what I'm doing here is that I'm using 5 different colors, 2 blues and a collection of grays. I'm not going to be using black, not yet. But the idea is this. I'm using the Star Joys because they are not that creamy. They're kind of in between. And the paper, I think it can take a lot of layers. So as these are not very creamy and soft, I will not saturate the paper. And I will add off the darkest shadows with the Prismacolors. Definitely. So I have not so many grays in this set. This one doesn't have a lot of grays, but I do have my grays from the 150 collector's set that I have. And I also have grays from the Prismacolor Junior. So I'm going to test if they work. Definitely I will not use polychromos on this book probably, because as the tooth is not that perceptible, then it might not be okay. So let me show you what I'm doing here with this leg and with the previous one. So first of all, I tried to see where Camila decided the fur to go. And then I start very lightly, just adding very, very few strokes of fur around the paws. The paws already have a little bit of blue already. And this is going to help me get direction. So when I start adding darker colors, I'll know more or less where to go. The camera might not pick this. It's a blue-gray because it's very light. But if you work with natural light, you will be able to see it. So I'm working this cat only in the mornings when I get direct sunlight, because that's where I can see where I can have the hair. But you know, this cat has got like long fur, so the hair can go in different directions as well. My cat had black paws, so his toes were like totally black and his nose was black. But maybe I'll do a little bit of combination of pink with this one. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's go into the blue. My cat under the sun shined silver and blue. So his coat was amazing. His eyes were green, and he was a very, very friendly cat, afraid of people, definitely, but he was very friendly to us. He never ever attacked me or bit me. It was originally my sister's cat, and my sister was very fond of Star Wars. So she named that cat Obi-Wan, and like the character. I think I have a photo somewhere near. Let me try to remember in which one of the devices I have it, so I can show it to you. I'm not adding too much on these two colors. And then I'm going to start with the grays. Let me go to the window and sort them out. Okay, so light to dark. So let's start here. You might feel that the colors like the Starjoys or the Crayolas or any other colors that are not that buttery barely kind of color the page. But that's exactly what we want. We want these colors just to leave a small, small, small bit of color so we can keep the lights. And just follow your instinct. Don't think too much where you're going to put the hair, the fur, or the strands, whatever you are coloring, humans, animals. They are not realistic, so we don't have to worry too much about this. I normally put them here on my desk organized, so all my colors are organized in different sections. The ones that I use for portrait, and then I have these ones for the cat. Oh yeah, I can see my internet connection going down, so I hope I don't disappear again. but I'm not planning to be long live. I have to do like a lot of house chores, including my laundry, as you mentioned, View. Yeah, the sun really dries the clothes much better with a great smell, and this is very, very sunny. This place where I am is very, very sunny. The area is kind of a desert-like area. So our weather is very extreme, very cold in the mornings, very hot in the evenings. Midday is sometimes impossible during the summer. We can get to 90s in the summer. But the good thing is that this is my dad's house, and when he chose this place to move, so when he moved to Mexico, from Mexico City to this place, he chose condo that had pool. So whenever I have time, let me show you. This is me in the background, and this is my cat. This is Obi-Wan. So he was lovely, literally. I think I have another photo. This is him hiding from one of my nieces. So there you go. Yeah, it was very, very sad. Very sad to lose him. But what can we do? And now I have, let me see. I have these two little monsters. So she's 15. And this was last weekend when it was very cold. So she's sleeping inside sock, kind of a sock bed, if I can describe it like that. But the real monster right now is this guy. This is Nico. He's 5, soon going to be 6, and he's just a menace. He bites everything. He likes to destroy my art material. No, it's just... But he's fun. Anyway. Okay, let me double check with light. Yes, I'm using this one. Okay. My studio light is sometimes a problem. Okay, so let me just add this last color, and I'll pull this up so you can get to see how we are building the fur. And we are not in a hurry. We are not really trying to say, oh, let's finish this coloring this weekend. Not really. It could take me weeks, it could take me 1 or 2 weeks or a month. But yeah. Oh yes, these two cats, the ones that I have right now, have very, very different personalities. The female, the creamy one, she's very sweet. She's like an angel. And the other one, the two of them are adopted, but the other one, oh my God. If I try to give a list of all the things that he has done, I wouldn't finish. Okay. So let me see if my studio light helps. My screen where I can see this is very, very bright and I cannot see it, but I suppose you can get to see how the hair, the fur, the hair strands, the fur strands are looking. So cats are difficult to represent in paintings because of the patterns that they have. They tend to have different color patterns and and they change with light. Not even a black cat is totally black. So that's the other cat that I'm planning to start this week. So for this week, apart from everything that I have to accomplish, my job objectives in grading and planning and all that, I'm planning to finish this cat. Not sure what I'm going to do with the boxes yet, but I think I'm going to go very, very Mexican style, because I know it's the same box but different positions, and I don't want this cartoony thing. I think this is going to be like a frame, but then as the other boxes are kind of floating in the imagination of the cat, that's why he's like this, like, oh, look, I'm in a box, I'm enjoying this. So I'm probably going to do something that doesn't exist, that are kind of Mexican style boxes, using a little bit of different textures, not necessarily stencil, but I will try to draw the textures. If you have seen in the Day of the Dead offerings, they normally use this kind of silk paper that is very, very thin, and they are like pressed and cut in different shapes. In Spanish, we call that papel picado, but the translation doesn't sound okay. It's like chopped paper, wouldn't sound fine. But they have images and they have patterns. So I think I'm going to do that with the boxes in different colors. Not so bright, so they don't compete with the main character, that is a cat. But let's see, it will be an experiment. If it works out well, I'll be very happy. But if it doesn't, well, it doesn't matter. Learning. That's also what I tell my students. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn a language. Okay. So this leg was done really, really fast. And we have to try and continue the fur that goes like this. So I don't want to go beyond this section. And we are doing hairy things. When I add the darker shadows with a Prismacolor gray, then it's going to be very obvious the difference. And as we have black lines, I certainly have to go and use also a black Prismacolor. The eyes, some people normally start with the eyes. I normally leave them at the very end. It depends how you feel with the coloring. I jump all the way around, and that's something that people tell me, that you don't stick to one section, so it's difficult to follow you. But it's just the way I'm used to coloring. Jumping all the way around when I see a section that needs a little bit of work, I go in there and work it, because in that moment I got the inspiration to do it. I don't have pink here handy, so that's why I'm not doing this one. Kind of resisting the urge to go in there. So we're going back into the light blues to establish the direction of the hair and the fur. I'll say hair, but it should be fur. But as I'm doing individual kind of strands, that's what I'm doing here. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's going to be, we're going to have a clear sky, no clouds. I've just got a message from my helper, the lady who helps me to clean, so she's going to be here early. So I might not stay here long because I have to go wake up my dad, make sure he has breakfast before this lady arrives and helps me clean the house. That's amazing. It's expensive, but it's going to save me like 4 hours of cleaning because the house my dad got is quite big. We have got 3 bedrooms on the second floor, 1 bedroom downstairs, and we have like 3 bathrooms, plus the kitchen, the dining room, and those little things that you all have. So I asked her to come here every 15 days to clean deeply everything. And then the week that she's not here, I do the most important cleaning, like the superficial cleaning, like the sweeping, the mopping, the toilets. Of course, the toilets, I would like to have them like clean more often, but I just can't. But I try to do that in on Wednesdays, and then the week that she's not here on Saturdays, and then she comes and cleans everything every 15 days. So that's something that I like. And those 3-4 hours that she's going to save me in those chores, I will use them for coloring, class preparation, evaluation. So that's fantastic. And sleeping, of course, right? Because when you do the physical exercise of cleaning a house, you feel tired, your muscles are sore. And now that I have to walk, I don't have classes in the same building. I have to move from building to building this semester, this term. So my first class, I have to go up 5 floors. There's just one elevator and it's crowded, so I prefer to use the stairs. And then I finish that class, go down 5 floors, go to another building, and then climb 2 floors. And then I go back to the previous building, but not to the 5th floor anymore, but to another, it's a first floor, but in reality it's like climbing 2 floors again. So I'm doing a lot of walking, stairs, and then add that to the cleaning part of the house. Well, I feel tired. So not necessarily my cup of tea to be cleaning the house, but as this is my dad's house and I want to keep it as livable as possible, as clean as we could, because of his own benefit as well. He's going to be 90, so he doesn't do a lot of cleaning anymore. He does what he can. Okay. Yeah, view stairs and with things in the backpack, the computer, the cables. We don't have textbooks, but I do have my notebook where I have my lesson planning. So you add the extra weight. So that's good. And that's 4 days a week, because on Mondays we do administrative work, so we don't have classes on Monday. My classes are just Tuesday to Friday. But literally yesterday, my legs were so sore. I was like, oh, I just cannot walk anymore. I had to go back to the office to drop my computer there, and I just really wanted to sit down and just rest for a little bit, but I just couldn't. I just wanted to drop everything as fast as I could, be there my last 30 minutes, and then drive home. I'm not far away from the university. It takes me like 15 minutes to go from one place to another, so that's good. So this is what I was telling you about the grays. So I have this Prismacolor Junior Gray, And from my set of, you can get to see Beryl Prismacolor. So now I cherish this, but these are still good size pencil. So I'm going to be using this warm gray, and I'm going to work a little bit on the face before I wrap this stream, so you can get to see how this will look. So first of all, the junior, and even though it is hard, and I'm pressing just a little bit on the paper, so my hand is a little bit hard on this, but I can get to see a little bit of the difference. His ear. I'm not going to go very dark everywhere. I need to keep some light, because even if you can erase, it's not a good idea to do that. Okay, there you go. Now let's go into the buttery thing. So this is going to make a difference, a big difference in shadows. And this is going to get us ready for the last stage, the very last stage, when all the cat is done and I have kind of decided that I like the way the shadows and the lights are working with each other. Then I go directly just in the area where Camila put the ink, just there I will use the black Premier. Practically all the work is done with the Starjoys, and we are just emphasizing a little bit with this one. Okay, so let me pull this up with these colors here when I'm using them. Okay, I'm going to take a photo and probably post it on Instagram, and you will be able to see the difference. This side already has got the Junior and Premier. This one has only got the Starjoys, but you will be able to see the difference, and this cat is going to look amazing, really, really amazing. Okay, so unfortunately, I couldn't start the other cat that I wanted to start. That is this one. Okay, this one is going to be a challenge because it is a black cat, but I want the sky to be kind of violet, and I want to keep the light because this cat has got also some front light. That's why we can see the eyes and the nose and everything here. But I'll try and wait for this one more week, and I will finish the portrait in Christine Cairns. I'll finish this cat in Catitude, and until next Saturday, we can start this live, because this one's going to be a challenge, and I would like, if you want to follow this along, get the image from the Google Drive that you have in my previous streams. And when this one finishes the process, I will add also the link here. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, View. I hope to see you around sometime during the day live. And take care, everybody. So see you and have a very, very good Saturday. Enjoy all your activities. Be positive. Okay. So take care. Bye.